I thought it was too easy. You're just bad.
Okay, well.
Jocelyn, that's a bit of a skill issue for you. I had no troubles with the game at all. My 29 deaths, it was just not a problem for me. Not a problem in the slightest.
Hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Jocelyn, your player one, and today we have two guests. So we have a player two and a player three. Who should I introduce first?
Me, because I'm more important.
Okay. Jacob, care to say hi?
No, I'm too important for that. They know who I am.
That's true, I guess. Nikole?
No, I still stand by podcast tradition.
Yeah, you're kind of not supposed to say hi.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, today, Indie House, we've got Minecraft by Mojang Studios. A short premise of Minecraft is a video game in which players create and break apart various kinds of blocks in three-dimensional worlds. The game's two main modes are survival and creative. In survival, players must find their own building supplies and food. They also interact with block-like mobs or moving creatures. And there's no content warnings for the game. It costs $29.99 for PC, and the prices vary depending on what platform you're playing it on. It's available on PC, mobile, and various consoles, and also like VR and stuff. It's cool, I guess. We all played it together, and we finished the game in 22 minutes and 2 seconds. I thought it was kind of hard, honestly, guys. I thought it was kind of hard. What did you guys think, though?
I thought it was too easy. You're just bad.
Okay, well.
Jocelyn, that's a bit of a skill issue for you. I had no troubles with the game at all. My 29 deaths, it was just not a problem for me. Not a problem in the slightest.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, half of her deaths were because of me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be pretty unskilled to not beat the game in like 19 minutes.
Well, I guess. I guess sure. Maybe it was a skill issue. The gameplay was pretty simple. I just don't really like mobs that much, like the hostile ones. I guess the non-hostile ones too. Those are bad. They like leave when you try to hit them. So I don't know.
Yeah, the gameplay is kind of boring. You just kind of show up in the middle of nowhere, and it just expects you to do things. Like, there's no levels. What are you supposed to do?
I don't know. Do you know, Nikole?
No, you don't even get an objective indicator that you see in a lot of open world games. So you're kind of just left to fend for yourself in the wilderness. And it's really a miracle that we could finish the game in just 15 minutes and 38 seconds. But, I mean, still too easy.
She's right. There is like an interface problem. I think a mini-map would be pretty nice.
Yeah. Or maybe if they just make the game more like Roblox, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, have it be like more different game styles and stuff, you know? That you could play instead of just plopping you in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I think multiplayer mini games would be like a great addition. You're totally right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at least we played it together, but like it still felt really bland on its own.
Yeah, I mean, like even when you're playing it with friends, we all did it together, and it only took us like 12 minutes. Like there's not much to do, even with your with friends.
Yeah, and I mean, like. I think actually the visuals too, like they could have been better, right? Because everything was like square.
Tell me about it.
Oh, that was so boring.
So many pixels. It's all grainy and diff.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make a 3D game, you could at least add more 3D shapes than just squares.
Yeah, everything's too edgy. When you talked about how it should be more like Roblox, I think they should take a page out of that and make things much rounder, and also add in player customization. Everyone looked the exact same to me. I don't understand it.
Yeah, and like, I feel like maybe like you should be able to like, I don't know, make like usernames and things like that so you can see who you're playing with. I don't know. I feel like that would help.
What do you think of the combat in this game?
I mean, it was okay. I mean, obviously, Roblox is a little bit better, though, with combat, right?
Yeah. So what I was really lacking in this game was a gun.
Yes,
All you
the
get is
distinct lack of firearms. I mean, you really got to look at very successful games like Fortnite and realize that you're not doing what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you fight, you don't see blood. That's just such a letdown. How come I couldn't see the animals bleed and cry when I hit them? That's just so weird. It's so boring.
Like, how do you even know that they got hurt, you know?
Yeah.
Did you guys like the music in the game?
There was music?
I heard complete silence throughout the entirety of the game.
Exactly.
You too.
Minecraft music. What would that even sound like?
I don't even know.
Pixel games with a bunch of 8-bit music?
Maybe.
Dude, I bet if they made a soundtrack for this game, it'd sound horrendous.
The word square had a sound. That would be the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. What sound does the outdoors make?
I don't know. I mean, there were sound effects for, like, the animals and stuff.
Yeah, pretty weird ones at that.
Yeah.
I remember I went out and I was like, attacking black guys, and they started screeching at me, right? And it was like, why do you gotta make such annoying noises?
Yeah.
Very upsetting. Well, I don't know about you, but I liked it when the pigs moaned. Okay, I know you might have problems with it, but I was pretty turned on.
No, that's the thing. I was very frustrated, because like you could hear that, right? But there's so little else to do in the game that you get that, but there's nothing to do with it, right?
I mean, it was just a miracle that we made it to the end of the game, you know? Like, I don't even know how we got there in like 10 seconds, you know?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, game was still really, really easy, but also like just we're out in the wild, like Breath in the Wild. But I mean, getting there in like 28 seconds,
Yeah. I mean, what did you think about the story? There's a really big story in this game. It's a very big story game.
The plot was amazing. It was easily the best part of the story, or the game.
Yeah, I mean, like, you were tasked with, like, killing a dragon. I didn't know that at first, because, again, no objective points, kind of dumb. But when I got to it, I mean, it only took, like 7 minutes? And it was pretty fun, seeing him die. Again, stupid kind of sounds, pretty stupid design, pretty boring choice. I mean, like a dragon, really? Couldn't think of anything more creative. I feel like if this game had more, like, creative fantasy monsters, that would be cool. Like, dragons, like, those just come from real life, there's no inspiration there. I want something scary. Like, what if there was, like, crazy 3-headed demons that come after you, or, like, giant sea monsters? Those would be cool.
Or a dog.
Giant, scary, deep, dark creatures from the depths coming at you in the darkness, screeching. That would be cool. Unfortunately, the game doesn't have any of that, but, just a thought.
A good chunk of the monsters weren't scary at all. I think they could have taken a page from some of the most popular fantasy games and put something terrifying, like, say, a rabbit. Like, that would have made me piss my pants. But no, I was pretty underwhelmed trying to do all the combat.
Yeah, I mean, like, skeletons, zombies, pretty uninspirational, again.
Yeah.
And the skeletons have bows. Why do they have bows and arrows? Where do they keep the arrows?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Like, how?
It's very unrealistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't even pull the string. There's no muscles. There's no movement.
Yeah, lack of movement entirely in this game. Graphics are just terrible.
And have you guys noticed how plain the map was? Like, TikTok was telling me that there's so many things to see, but all I saw was nature, and that's so boring.
Yeah, like, if I wanted to see nature, I would just go outside. But I run this podcast so I can sit inside and play games all the time. So, like, why would I want to play a game where I'm outside?
Yeah, I mean, there's the lighting in the game. When you, like, step outside, it's like the sun is square and the earth is flat. Like, that environment is just... I've been told by Twitter users that the earth was not flat, and I'm starting to believe them. And so when I see that, I just kind of think, like, this whole thing is fake news. This is a game designed to be targeted towards children, And I think when you're like implanting those ideas in their head, it's very bad. We should have more
Exactly.
restrictions on video games like this.
Yeah.
It teaches them to be violent towards women. It teaches them to believe in fake news. There's just a lot wrong, and we need more trigger warnings than just nothing.
Yeah.
Speaking on the trigger warnings, I really don't appreciate, like you said, the lack of them. Because when I saw spiders, I started crying. And I have,
Oh, tell me about it.
yeah, and it's like, how was I supposed to know they were there? It's not like they were running at me or anything, but they were just there. And I started crying to the point where I started throwing things in my own room because I thought they were there in real life. And I can't believe this game for just hurting me in this way, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think there should also be like a religious tag, because when we were beating the game, at about like the 3 minute mark, we went to hell, and that was like deeply upsetting to me as a very devout Christian to see
Hmm.
that they're putting these demons in video games now to influence our children. That's like super bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game actually got me excommunicated because we had went to hell in the game. So now I'm kicked out of my church and I'm probably going to hell once I die.
Well, I mean, did you guys have a favorite part of the game?
Beyond the pig moaning,
Yeah. Yeah. Other than the pig moaning.
I liked that it only took about 2.5 minutes to beat.
Yeah, at least it was easy for you guys, you know?
My favorite part was the very end when we finally finished the game and we were finally done with it. It made me cry in a good way.
That scene where you finally reach Princess Peach, it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part were actually, you know, those like bird looking things that were like just screeching and hollering and like they would like swoop down. Do you know what those are called? Like in the game? I can't remember.
Pigeons, right?
Yeah, obviously the pigeons. Those were my favorite part. And like I really actually I liked when they like hit me. I thought it was nice. It was like a wake up call, you know? Cuz I hadn't slept for days in the game. So like it was cool, you know? They reminded me that, sometimes it's good to just go to sleep.
Yeah, I heard that was actually a pretty popular feature from like what I've read. So much so that the community like actively voted to have them put in the game. So like
Yeah.
when an idea like that comes along, just you know that it's so good.
I mean, and I think that's awesome. Like there was like a community vote for that and everyone wanted it and they put it in. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And
I
everyone
think
loves them.
I think they made the right call because the pigeons are arguably, actually not even arguably, objectively the most beautiful sound in this game.
Actually reminds me of the most beautiful sight though, also voted by the community. That like sparkly octopus.
Yeah,
I heard that
yeah.
everybody voted for that one. It came to us in a dream, and then we were all like, we need to vote for this mob.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
maybe that kind of saves the game for me though. Like cuz like at first I was like this game is hard and I don't really like that it's just blocks and I'm outside. But then there were the pigeons and the sparkly whatever's and like I feel like knowing that the community voted for it and everyone wanted it was just awesome to me, you know?
Yeah, the community seems to be pretty wholesome. Like, I'm on Twitter pretty often, and I haven't encountered any hostility whatsoever or like any drama regarding anything involving Minecraft, and that's something to be appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, like no one even talks about this game. I really don't know how anyone hasn't
Well, it is
found
an
it.
indie game. It's not like it's like super popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Um, did you guys have a least favorite part?
I don't like that it ended pretty fast. I mean, we only beat it in what, like 1.5 minutes? Like, that's not much gameplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nicole.
What about those stupid monsters? The big flying ones that make those stupid noises?
Yeah,
Those things are annoying as hell.
yeah. And they like
Yeah.
kept hitting me.
Rude. Literally the worst addition.
Yeah,
Like,
Really
they,
messed up.
they really should have asked the community before they put those in. I
yeah.
don't think
Like
anybody would have wanted those.
Yeah, they
literally
were so
no one.
terrifying. They made me cry, and in the bad way this time.
Yeah. So, would you guys recommend the game?
To someone my age, I don't think I'd recommend it. If you were like maybe 8 to 10, still probably wouldn't recommend it.
So no, then.
Probably not.
Okay. Well, Nicole, would you recommend the game?
I personally recommend it to any Catholics and Christians and other Christian denominations. Especially recommend going to the Hell area. I really recommend that they all go there.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think I recommend this game just because, we need to support small indie games that are new. And, like, I was surprised that no one had ever talked about this game before. Like, I feel like this game is, like, really interesting. And, like, even though I really hated it for most of the time I was playing it, I think everyone should play it. Because, like, there's a lot to do in this game. You can run. And, I mean, that's like it.
Don't
But
forget
like,
jumping.
yeah, you can run and jump, and I think that's really cool. And I mean, it's a totally new indie game, so like I think everyone should support this game.
Yeah, I do see the potential. There's so many problems with it that I've mentioned, but I feel like if it were bought out by like a big company like Nintendo or Microsoft, they'd totally be able to like improve the game. Like if a
Yeah.
huge company like that stepped in and they took lead, I think they could guide it in the right direction. The community would
Yeah,
be very appreciative of that.
We got to keep in mind that it is very, very early in development.
yeah,
So a lot of our gripes could potentially be connected to that.
yeah, exactly. And like maybe we would have played it for longer than 10 minutes, but like it's just we need to let him work out the kinks and stuff. What would you guys rate this game?
I rate it a 6.9 out of 10 tokens.
I'm gonna give it a 4.20.
And just because I love supporting new indie games, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10 tokens. And that means that our final rating of Minecraft is a 7.0333333, infinitely repeating, but I mean that rounds out to a 10 out of 10, obviously. So Minecraft by Mojang Studios gets a 10 out of 10 tokens. And I just think that's awesome. So congratulations, Mojang. That's a great score. And I mean, I think that's it for us. So thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Indie House. And thank you to Nikole and Jacob for joining me today. Do you guys have any last words?
Yeah, I mean, subscribe. Make sure to tune in next week where we review Terraria.
Nikole?
Be sure to follow my YouTube channel where I'll be doing a Minecraft speedrun and I'll be beating Dream Minecraft. I'll be beating his record.
And I mean, yeah, that's really good. The links will be in the description for everyone that was in this episode. And be sure to rate the episode and let me know your thoughts. I've got a Discord server called Indie House Official, which would be a great place to give your feedback and to talk to me, my collaborators, or other listeners of the show. If you have any indie game suggestions, feel free to comment below or hit me up at indiehouse_pod on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag IndieHouseGaming. And if you would like to support the podcast and get some cool extra content, you can find the Patreon in the card. Catch us next week on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. See y'all on the next level. Bye!
Bye.